climb higher and higher. That's from a Thin Lizzy song. He goes, climb higher, and he goes, but the world is on fire. He's right. He knew. Coming at you from New Jersey. Coming at you from New Jersey. The capital of misery. The place where metal forgot to die. This is Here Lies Metal, the podcast that brings you the origins, history, and culture of everything metal. Once again, I am Maledictus, and this
is Samantha.
And we shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. Welcome to the end of the world. What's going on in the world?
Things, I believe.
Everyone forgot about the disease and they, burn everything down.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to, it really puts this in perspective what we're doing here, which is very little.
What we're doing here, we're doing nothing.
Yes.
We're doing nothing here.
And the information we have to, give out.
Yeah. This show is useless.
It's of little use.
Of little use unless you need some escapism, but that's not even good for that. Maybe, there's better forms of escapism than this. Yeah, so, as the world burns, as the world turns, as the world burns, we talk about completely pointless things like metal right now. There's not even any metal right now. There's no shows. There's some albums.
There was the Metal Injection Slay at Home Festival.
And how'd that go?
I think it was fine. We were out of town while it happened, so we didn't catch any of it. But
I would like to see that. How that went.
I clicked on a stream and it wasn't very viewer friendly because it was like 5 hours in one video, and they didn't have timestamps on it, and I hadn't heard of most of the bands.
Oh, so it wasn't really a big deal. I mean, wasn't anyone really important playing?
Maybe there was, but maybe not just on the
right.
thing I saw. Or there was a lot of bands, so maybe they were just lost in the noise.
Maybe it was like a free stream, and maybe there was like the more better ones that.
It was free, yeah.
The whole thing was free. Okay.
I think so. Oh. It's on free on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. Because maybe it's more of a premium thing for the better bands. I don't know. Maybe they give you like the more.
Well, that would be an asshole thing.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen in the music industry.
Think of all the little bands. It'd be like, oh.
Yeah, that's how little bands, that's how they're treated. I mean, they're pretty much working for nothing. So that's how it works.
Or they're paying to work.
Or they're paying to work. Yeah, you're paying to work. It's amazing. It's amazing what capitalism in the music industry has done. You think the guy who has a job has it bad. You have it way worse. You might as well just get a job.
Yeah, but from what I did see, it was like, I'd imagine this was kind of hard to put together because the small moments I did see, it was, kind of like us, except people in different places needing to videotape themselves playing. So I think it's good for all those young bands who probably record like that normally, except now they have to videotape themselves.
So they tape themselves. They weren't even provided an area. They had to do it themselves.
Yeah, they're at home.
So they had to provide their
called
own.
Slay at Home.
Oh, all right. You think they could have set up a studio for them and flown them all out?
But they're not quarantining.
There's not a lot of people. You'll be fine. They'll be fine. Put on masks.
I don't know. Well, no. This was. It's only. I'm not even sure. I don't know if it was live. It must be really hard to play live.
I don't know how you do that.
Zoom?
I think you need some special...
There's a delay. There's delays.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. You see those bands doing that, but those bands have a lot of money and stuff. So
I mean, I figured the people that are releasing all these covers...
Yeah,
that's been a very popular thing, is, people would form a super group to release a cover.
Well, yeah, 2 minutes to late night. They've
been doing it.
Has he been doing that live though? Because he doesn't have the resources.
I can't imagine he's doing it live. That's got to be really hard.
Yeah, because.
But what does the technology even exist to play live together?
I don't know.
Via video communication.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I always thought of bigger bands with a lot of money are doing it. But they have mixer, they have the whole shebang. He doesn't.
Okay. I didn't do any research on the Slay at Home Festival.
I don't know how it's done.
But I would actually be surprised if it was live. I imagine all these, because especially to keep that thing moving and have it just be an actual 5-hour video and not with all the technical delays that would happen.
Yeah, that just
if that was live.
Happen, just your connection and stuff.
So yeah, I'm gonna guess that all the bands recorded this on their own and submitted their videos.
They had to just sync them up somehow. Maybe.
Well, yeah, they probably presented a final product.
Yeah, and maybe there's some guy over at that end.
Or maybe someone helped them at the festival to edit and splice things together. But
Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah, comment down below if you know how it's done, because I want to do it somehow. I don't know any band people. No, I have a band. No, I have a band.
You have a band.
I do have a band. I haven't seen them.
DEFCON 1.
I haven't seen them in years.
Virtual concert.
Yeah. I don't know when we're gonna play again. They were expressing interest in getting more guitarists. You know, of course, I don't think I got a text from them yesterday.
They want more guitarists.
Well, you know, Jeff was considering kind of more guitarists, and you know, Ed was just like, just get a singer. He's like, shut the fuck, just get a singer. You know, and I'm like, guys, I don't work well with other guitarists. Just so you know.
Maybe that's their plan to phase you
Good,
out.
Good, that's fine. Because I can't work with another guitarist. I'm like if you saw it on the Motley Crue documentary when Mick Mars comes in, he sees another guitarist, he's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't work with other guitarists. That's me. I don't work with other guitarists. I just don't. We can't have a guitar army with me.
Maybe it'd be good for you.
I'd have to learn to work with others, you know, like I can't work with them. It's all about me. I can't work with them. I'm loud and obnoxious. And if I have another guy saying, turn down, man, or, you know, please, I'm like, no. I'll be like, fuck off. No. What part of guitarist didn't you understand?
Maybe you should switch to one-man band.
I think that is the ultimately best outcome for someone like me. But that is so much work, though. Like, you have to be so dedicated.
You have to learn to play drums.
Well, yeah. Well, you could always program that stuff and get away with it. I mean, you could. But that's hard. It's hard to do. You know, I should really get some tips from people that are doing that at a quality level. Like, you know, like I should have an interview with Athanar. You know, I think I can interview Athanar. You think so? I should try to get. I don't try to get interviews. I don't even try to.
My sense of it might have to be like a phone interview. My sense of Athanar, he's not very technological.
Yeah, he's like a little bit boring.
So he's not going to do a video interview with you from home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like. I would like him with, you know, his stupid mask on. I would rather for that, you know, or someone who's doing a one man thing. You know, someone accessible. I'd like to really pick their brain.
I think you'd have better luck with
useful.
the Hell Ripper guy.
Hell Ripper guy, yeah,
he's very social media savvy.
Yeah, or even Joel Grind. I think Joel Grind would probably be good too.
He's a little too big.
He's Joel Grind's like I'm from Portland. I don't like to talk to you guys.
James from Hell Ripper.
Yeah, James from Hell Ripper. Yeah, I think so.
And there's plenty of smaller guys I would love to talk to you.
Yeah, there's plenty of bands that like aren't one man people that, you know, like Nator. They sent me the shirt personally. They would talk to me. I think, you know, the shirt I bought for you.
Yeah,
they sent it personally. They sent it from the guy's house.
Most bands do that. Most small bands.
Yeah. They don't really have distribution anymore. It's not worth it these days to have that. But yeah, you know, I think, yeah, I should, you know, the interviews I do, people ask me to do because I'm an idiot. I don't like go out and sneak people. I'll do like, hey, can you do? I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. You know, take some effort.
You want to do more interviews?
I should put more effort into this show. Not in the, I think the production I do is okay, but I don't think the content I do is okay. We just shit talk the news. It's shit. You're right out there that this show is shit. All of you that are like, this is shit. You're right. Because I don't put any effort into it. Imagine if I put effort into this show. But, you know, I don't have a job right now, so, but still, you know,
You're still putting a minimal effort into this show.
I still am putting well, I've taken up carpentry and gardening.
And I'm like, why don't you work on the podcast?
Yeah, because I enjoy those things better. You know?
And why are we doing this?
Well, I do this and that, but that's somehow more enjoyable than sitting here trying to get all this shit to work and find all these articles of things that don't matter to people, or that people are just going to get mad at me about for just simply talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's get into it. We have a couple of music reviews, small music reviews of mostly small bands, a couple of big bands, and
I think all small bands.
Well, you know, some are, you know, of the more like 500,000 level on or 100,000 level maybe on Spotify. Well, you know,
we'll get to
the bigger band. So let's start
small bands here.
Let's start the small band. So, ladies and gentlemen, earlier last week, the gentleman from this one man metal experiment called Bullvine contacted me for an interview. Great interview, by the way. It's been up for a week now. Check it out. Alfred Key the fourth. That's very distinguished. The fourth. Great conversation with him. Finally good to meet him because I've spoken to him before. I did a review on their previous album. Now it's a one man project. And you know, Alfred was telling me, you know, what influence he has, you know, and there's a lot of influence, you know, in like Black Flag, and we were having a good discussion about that. And I think it's, his project here, Bullvine, and his latest album, Mental Breakdown, is just a great example of DIY one-man metal projects, which, there's plenty of. Think of guys like Dan Swano, think of guys like Mortis, think of guys like Ethnor, think of, or even Varg, should I say. But there's a lot of people out there doing it themselves because they don't want to deal with people. And I could totally dig that. And, Alfred Key IV is just another person doing that. And he did a great job here with Mental Breakdown. I think the album is very personal to him. The lyrics really come from him. The artwork comes from him. This is really his project. He did everything for it. So, great job here for just working on his own here. So check out, I've got the Bandcamp page up here.
What genre would you say this was?
It is, I don't know if I want to call it like death metal. Because it's a little...
No.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, what do you think it is?
I think if we're going to peg it down, it's closest to black metal, but...
Like one-man black metal. One-man black metal.
It's got to be...
Its own genre.
But it's definitely not black metal, because...
Yeah, it's not Kravolta enough.
Well, it's lacking black... It does have some blast beats, I would say. But
yeah.
It's not a drum album. And
his lyrics aren't very black metal.
You might want to call it experimental black metal, but I've listened to experimental black metal, which is highly pretentious.
Yeah, he's not going for that pretentious. He's not going for that
pretentious
at all. No, this is from like him. This is from the heart. These lyrics.
You could call it like punky, like really crusty.
It's crusty.
Bare bones black metal, but there's a lot of crusty black metal out there, and it doesn't sound like that either.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to describe this music.
It's not very European though. It's not. He's not going to have that flair at all. But no, it's definitely worth checking this guy out. He is definitely a small creator on Bandcamp. Check him out. Bullvine.
Call it more like
highly,
like noise black metal maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely
like,
chaos. Yeah, it's Greg Ginn inspired chaos.
Yeah, I can hear that definitely.
Yeah.
And the punky elements are definitely is the lo-fi and kind of like,
which is cool.
It sounds like it's falling apart in a lot of places.
That's okay.
Which is, I think, an aesthetic choice.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like, I discussed this with Alfred, and and I like what he's doing here. I think he's doing a great thing, and I know he'll continue doing his albums, alone. But he's got a great work ethic. So
what I liked most about it was that it's highly demented.
Yes, it is.
Like in a good way, but it's just like
that's what he's going for.
It makes you a little worried to listen to.
That's effective.
It's
You bring something home from you. So you're like, I hope Alfred's okay. And that's
Is Alfred okay?
I think he is.
Okay.
I think he's fine. But I think he's we discussed, he's gone through some shit, and I thought it was, the album was just a really great reflection of that. And he's got where the music comes from. Metal come from here, not here. And that's Alfred. So he's doing a great job. So continue on, Alfred, and I hope to hear from you again, and I hope to hear more of your records. And everyone check out his record, okay? And give him some feedback. All right, next, these guys contacted me. Why am I clicking on that? These guys contacted me. These are a bigger band. These guys are a little bit bigger. Also on Bandcamp here. This album is also available on Spotify, by the way. Band called Hovenweep.
Is it Hoven or Hoven?
Hoven. I say
Coven debate.
That's right. It's probably Hoven, but I say Hoven. I say Coven, so I'm going to say Hoven. I apologize, guys.
Let us know.
And comment down below. Thank you for contacting me, guys. This is an EP, 4 songs,
debut EP,
longer songs, a little bit longer. At a very controlled tempo. All the songs have that stoner kind of BPM, which is cool. It kind of reminds me a lot of like the Greek and Italian stoner bands I listen to. Very spacey stuff, very psychedelic, very psych. Very long, atmospheric, trippy tracks. Nice, solid, thick guitar tone in this. Even got like a spacey kind of electric organ in there too. So it's definitely great driving music, great desert music.
Great.
Gets a little bit gazy at times. Yeah, get drug music, trippy. Gets a little bit gazy. There's actually a song. I think the second track. We were driving today and we were listening to it, and I'm like, this sounds like Thin Lizzy, but really slow. They're almost using like Thin Lizzy riffs, but it was like really slow. I was like, this is kind of cool. These guys love their delay pedals. That's all I gotta say. They keep those delay pedals on. So it's kind of gazy a little bit. It's good though. It's trippy. It's spacey. It's deserty. and very consistent. No ups and downs in the BPM, no surprises. But it's a great soundtrack for a chemically enhanced journey throughout the desert.
Yes.
These guys are from Arizona, but not very like Gatekeeper, not like Great Creeper though. Not from the same part of Arizona as Great Creeper.
Definitely when you think it was going to play at Desert Fest, it's people like this.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. This is a perfect kind of Desert Fest band. Yeah.
This is desert music for sure.
Yeah, it's a cool band. I'm glad they,
time. Anyway, the EP is called Salvian Journey.
Perfect.
Is that referencing Salvia?
Yeah, have you ever done that? I haven't. I'm afraid I'll never come back.
I have done Salvia.
And what happened?
I discovered that the Earth is set upon an invisible, vibrating, three-dimensional grid that is holding all of reality together.
These guys might have seen that, but I think they took a different route.
Thankfully, that only lasted like a minute.
Yeah, I think it lasted really short. These guys kept doing it, and they, because the album's not only a minute.
I don't recommend you do Salvia a lot.
These guys, well, they named an album after it, so. But no, this is definitely worth checking out. I'm glad these guys contacted me. So thank you guys for contacting me. Contact me with your next release. I will keep an eye on you guys. Check them out on Spotify, or get their album on Bandcamp here. Buy it. So very cool. Hovenweep. Comment down below if it's Hovenweep or Hovenweep, guys. I say Hoven because I'm it's because of that movie where the guy's like, it's Coven, not Coven, because Coven sounds like oven, so it's so I call it Coven. It's the same thing, guys. That's that was what American movie was that? I think it was. So anyway, so Samantha found a band called
Okkultokrati.
Okkultokrati.
And the name of the album is foreign, so please scroll down to it. Faster. Okay. La Ilden Lys. It is their 5th album.
That's not Norwegian. No.
I couldn't tell you really.
They're from Norway, obviously.
They are Norwegian.
Yeah.
And they're kind of speaking of black metal punk, I would say. This is a bit less punk than previous releases by them. But yeah, it's very thick, I would say.
Very thick.
It's very noisy and kind of riffy, but it's it's good. It's got the black metal vocal.
It kind of starts as black metal, but the album doesn't really stay there, which is good.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
great.
It.
It's
I feel
great.
like I need to listen to it some more. It's in contention on my lists.
It's very Cavalt.
My many lists
Very
that
Cavalt.
I'm keeping for end of the year consideration.
Yeah, worth listening to. These guys claim they're influenced by Black Flag, but I don't really hear it in this album.
I think I've definitely heard that on an older release.
Okay, so maybe they've moved beyond that because
they've definitely been more punk in the past.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So they're getting more into like a, this is more of like rock. It's from black metal, then it kind of gets a little like black rock and roll. A little bit. Great riffs though. Very riff oriented, very thick sound.
Yeah, it's got that the Norwegian evil to it.
There's a lot of venom in it. Obviously, there's a lot of venom in it. There's definitely a lot of venom in this release. Like I said, great guitar sound.
There's a lot of black rock and roll floating around these days, but these guys are very unique. They do not sound like anybody else.
Yeah, they're like kind of going all over the place with this record, so it's good. It's got a nice underproduced production value to it too. It's not it's not all brushed up. It's not all clean. It's nice and got a nice DIY sound to it. Like black metal should. So, like Norwegians do, they record it with a Fisher-Price microphone or something. Well, no, it wasn't that bad, but it's good though. Check this thing out. Yes, the album's called La Ilden Lys. La Ilden Lys. Comment down below if you know how to say that.
We need a lot of help around
I
here.
can't pronounce all you weird foreigners. Okay, I can't keep up with your weird language.
Anyway, that was Okkultokrati.
Okkultokrati, not karate, not a cult of karate. I know you wish it was a cult of karate. That would be like a new faction. Daniel LaRusso has to fight on the Karate Kid series. They're like devil worshipping karate guys.
Let's move on.
That would be awesome. Okay, so what do we got next here? We got another band.
Finally.
Okay. Just before we go, Tyrant is the stupidest name you could call a band, and I'm not making fun of these guys, but it's the stupidest name.
Listen.
For a band. You know why it's the stupidest name for a band? You know why? Very quickly. You know why? Because, look, this is all the bands called Is there any other? Anyone find a name that's used as much as that? Probably there's one, but we have.
Go back to their pitch.
Okay.
All right. Let's look at one key note here. Years active are formed in 1978.
These guys
They're probably one of the first Tyrants. Okay.
These guys are kind of doing the pentagram thing, but I don't think they were ever as popular as pentagram, like ever.
I'd never heard of them before.
Never even in the past.
But yes, this is an old band. As you can see, they were formed in the last decade.
Look at these guys. Bunch of blues daddies. Look at these guys.
All right. Scroll down to the albums.
Okay.
As you can see, last album was King of Kings in 1996.
Yeah, so...
But we're here with their fourth album, Hereafter, Triumphant Return.
They're kind of doing the NIRYTH Ungle thing. You know?
They are kind of, except they were never as big as NIRYTH Ungle.
No, not even close. No, these guys were like a bar band.
But
we found them.
But I really liked this album.
It's good.
I'd never heard of them before. I just listened to it because it was new, and it's good.
If you're looking, there's a lot of retro metal these days. A lot of like either young people trying to sound old or old people coming back and trying to sound new. But these guys sound like, to me, they sound like Black Sabbath with Ian Gillan. That's what they sound like to me. Like that's my interpretation. I hear Born Again in this, like that album or not. I like that album. Actually, interesting fact about all the bands that named Tyrant. Maybe some of you know this out there, but Saint Vitus, they're actually the first band.
That's one of the things
here.
you found trying to find Tyrant.
Yes, if you look at the first thing here, no, it's not them. Sorry, it's one of them. It doesn't matter. But yes,
what will help you is this Tyrant is a heavy metal band from the USA.
Yes, I had to go down this list and I had to hit it like about 20 times before I found the proper Tyrant.
But yes, they have a very classic heavy metal sound, not too complicated, good riffs.
Maybe they're named after the Judas Priest song, Tyrant. Who knows?
Nothing too proggy or technical.
Nope.
It's just like, some good times.
Sounds
some
like
Sabbath
second
worship.
Sounds like second wave Sabbath. It's like second wave Sabbath. One of the second wave Sabbath bands, just like NIRYTH Ungle. And the band just Tyrant. Just quickly on this name, there's bands of all kinds of walks of life. There's black metal bands. There's goth metal bands. There's like Italian bar bands that no one ever gave a fuck about called Tyrant. There is so many bands called Tyrant. Just go down this list, people, and just look.
I'm sure
bands called Tyrant.
You should open every one and find the oldest band. I bet you this Tyrant is one of them.
A lot of these bands are discontinued since like 1992. But they have them. But that's what's amazing about the Metal Archives. Like they have a record of all of this, all these obscure notes, these footnotes in metal history.
All right, we're talking about this album right now.
Oh yeah, right.
Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. So okay. So like I said, it was a lot like Black Sabbath. There's one of the tracks called "Pieces of Nine," and it sounds a lot like they're using the same riff as "Children of the Grave" from Black Sabbath. It's the same riff. Why? Just it's not even like a tribute to it. Like they're literally just stealing the riff. Not that I care. I don't even like that song from Black Sabbath. But yeah. By the way, they only have 2,100.
That's more than most bands we talk about.
Yeah, but you think they've been around so long. That's 2,100 streams, 2,100 hits on Spotify.
I take it you didn't like Tyrant.
They weren't my favorite of these bands. I think I like Okkultokrati a lot better than these guys. They just kind of, they just gave me that kind of like, old guy bar band. We're playing at Connections tonight.
I found them very listenable. It was just a good time, and I think this, other than maybe this riff you allege that they stole, I'd have to listen again. It didn't jump out at me on my listen, but
maybe it's in a different key, but it's the same riff.
But
Children on the Grave.
I listen to a lot of bands try to do this kind of stuff and they fail.
There's a lot of young bands trying to do this.
Yes, when I find a band who does it well enough for me to be like, oh, I really like this.
These guys originally weren't doing this sound. I mean, so they're just not, they're not.
I take note, and that's why I wanted to share it with everybody.
No, it's good. It's good that, this is out there. And it's good that, these old guys are doing this. And they're not trying to sound new with this album. This, like I said, this thing sounds like Ian Gillan Black Sabbath. That's what it sounds like to me, which is cool because no one really is, there's a lot of bands trying to, recreate these sounds, and everyone kind of avoids that one as if it was some sort of thing you're not supposed to touch. but I like touching it because I like that album. Fuck you all. It's a good album.
With the Demon Baby?
Yeah, with the Demon Baby. You know, it said when they interviewed Ian Gillan regarding that Demon Baby, he said he found it so disgusting he threw up. Like, what a wimp. Like, that made you throw... That made you throw up? It's just a picture of a demon baby. Like,
God, you see that every day.
Yeah, back then, I guess, like, it was like, oh my God. But today, it's like, yeah, it's a demon baby. Big deal. There's a lot of living demon babies running around, you know?
All right, that's Tyrant. Hereafter, give it a listen. Don't listen to Maledictus.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's it is what it is. Okay, and for the biggest band you have here, and maybe some people are gonna be like, oh, look at these guys. Look at these guys. They got a nice photographer. These guys. This isn't really a metal band, but I always like these guys.
Close enough.
Yeah. They're influenced by a lot of, all kinds of bands. So, I was like, oh, they came out a new album. We got to hear this. And it's a fun album.
This is Horisont.
Horisont.
The album is Sudden Death.
Wait, where do you think they're from? Yeah. Oh, Sweden? Yeah. Obviously. I mean, just
they're
look at these guys.
throwing off that vibe pretty hard.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're from Sweden. We're trying to sound like from 1979. So this band is another Swedish band that does not have their own sound. Like every Swedish band ever. Every Swedish retro band ever, which is every Swedish band right now, especially Ghost. But this new album is exploring a whole bunch of different sounds, which is great. I guess I like to hear a band do other people, and these guys do it well.
What were some sounds that you heard?
So opening track, I got hit in the face with ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, and I was like, this is great. I like this. It's a good start. Others tracks sound like Queen. Others like prog rock, like Yes. The song Archaeopteryx, that almost got Pink Floyd. Like, that got kind of Pink Floyd.
It's Archaeopteryx in flight.
Archaeopteryx in flight. That thing is a prehistoric bird.
I looked it up.
It's not a dinosaur bird. It's a prehistoric bird, like around the same time as a saber-toothed tiger. Okay, Archaeopteryx. And it's a very Pink Floyd kind of song. Which I was like, whoa, cool. And they have another song kind of sounds like Thin Lizzy, which, a lot of their stuff has done before. And even a song that sounds like Styx, even, had that kind of Styx kind of, feel to it, that real cheesy.
Got a lot of influences.
Yeah, and my God, it is a long album.
It's a little over an hour.
It is, I
think,
very long.
And there's a lot of notes.
It's a lot of notes.
Too many notes.
It's it's proggy. It's everything.
The human ear can only process so many notes in a given period.
It is. It's too many notes. It's a celebration of all kinds of dad rock, this record. Sudden Death, it's called, on Century Media Records. Sudden Death.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it.
Some parts get a little bit boring.
Then it saves
itself.
I liked it more than their first album.
Their first album, their first album, they were much more of a blues band, like their early stuff. I mean,
wait, is this their second or third?
This is like I don't even know. This is like their fifth or sixth album, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's not their second or third. This is like they have a whole bunch of smaller albums, like.
Well, their other big album.
Yeah, no, their last two albums are definitely big albums. Their last two.
I like this. I thought this was way more dynamic.
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay, sure, they're ripping off a lot of styles, but I don't know. I like all those styles.
Yes, out of their last three albums, this is the best one.
They've grown a lot, clearly, in their ability to play.
Yeah, they're good.
And their songwriting. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's just very interesting. It is long. Like, it's very taxing to listen to because it's very proggy. And it's got a lot, it's challenging you. It's not an easy listen. I mean, it has easy parts. It has nice parts. But, like, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, and it's not, like, as intimidating as, like, someone like Halas. It's, a lot more primitive than Halas. It's more primitive, but it's a lot. It's not as spacey. Much more of an
easy listen than
really?
This. Oh, for
this
sure.
This is more like a little bit caveman than Hollis. Don't you think? A little more blues, a little more blues daddy.
It's maybe a little more bluesy, but I don't know. I find it was actually proggier or more technical than Hollis.
I suppose so.
It was more technical.
Yeah, I guess the note wise. But Hollis is a little more experimental. These guys aren't really experimental.
We'd have to do a thorough comparison.
Yeah, it's a very different band. Very different band.
They've got different sounds for sure.
Yeah.
I like Hollis better, but I don't know. I did like this album more, and I like Horizont more because of this album.
Yeah, of their past three albums, which were all big albums, this is their best one. I got to see these guys a few years ago at underneath Webster Hall, that club that's underneath Webster Hall. There was like the Underneath Club, and then there was the Underneath Club, and they played. It's like in the basement of Webster Hall.
Never been to that.
Back when they used to be shows. Yeah, it was a good band. They were really good.
I wish I went to that.
Oh, it was a cool show. It was a really cool show.
It's probably like on a weeknight or something.
Yeah, it was.
I
It was like
fuck
it was just like
that.
on like a Monday or something. It was like hardly. It wasn't like there was not like a lot of people there. Like there was people, but there was not like a huge amount of people there. Yeah, and they were just hanging out, talking Swedish to each other. They were like, blah, 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 blah.
I will say, I know this is kind of a bitchy thing to say, but
Yeah.
I think the only thing holding me, at least me, back from really loving this band, and I think this band from being really remarkable, is having a more dynamic vocalist
Yeah, he's been singing the same way.
and a more charismatic vocalist.
I think the bass player sings sometimes too. The bass player's name is Magnus.
They sound very similar, if that's true.
Yeah, I
I've
think-
never noticed.
Yeah, maybe in their older stuff, because when I saw them live, they let the bass player sing a song. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Sometimes they sing in Swedish though, which is great. I like when people sing in their own
That's
languages.
fine with me.
I think more bands should sing in their own languages. They don't have to be. I don't need to understand you. It's fine. It's about the feels, not about the words. Yeah. So I like their names. This is Axel, the vocals,
I'm sorry, Axel. I just
Axel, and Charles on guitar, and David on guitar, and then the best is Magnus on bass. Magnus. He's the best. Magnus.
What about Pontus?
And Pontus on drums. Pontius, Magnus, Pontius. These guys are great. Yeah, whenever there's music again, you should. And I was wondering if these guys had disappeared. I think I even mentioned it maybe a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, whatever happened to Horizont? They ever disappeared? And then boom, they come out with this double album. It's massive.
It has to be a double album.
Yeah, if this is on vinyl, this is 2 records, maybe even 3. Yeah, this thing's tremendous. But yeah, just check it out. If you like dad music, these guys are recreating your dad music really well.
But like the good stuff.
Yeah, and not like heavy stuff either. It's more just dad rock. Just doing a good job with it.
But not like not in a cringy way.
No, it's they put their own feel on it, but they do it well. They're good musicians. So yeah. So that is all for our music reviews.
What's next?
I think there's news.
Is there?
I think there's news. Despite all the world burning, there's metal news that doesn't matter. So, okay. So we were talking about this last week, right?
Yes, there had been an
Last time.
Instagram post by the Ghost Vodka Company, a British company, memeing on Tobias Forge
Yeah.
that they had brought a copyright lawsuit against them, and saying, "What the fuck's wrong with you? We're a vodka company, not a band. Why are you coming after us for copyright reasons? Like, go home." And it has just now been confirmed by the Ghost attorney that this is a true suit, or maybe, I'm not sure the quite technical term of what's happening right now, but this is a copyright issue, and they are pursuing, I think mainly based on the fact that Ghost actually has an alcoholic beverage they sell called Juniper Gin.
Which apparently nobody buys.
I'm sure some people have bought it.
There it
Big
is.
Ghost fans. There it is. It's very
Red.
It's very pretty.
By the way, for the record, I don't like gin. It tastes like detergent.
I'm neutral on the concept of gin. But yes, apparently, even though this Ghost vodka is not actually that new,
Nope.
I can't remember when they were from, like maybe 2012.
Yeah.
But it seems whenever they did the copywriting for Ghost the band, it was quite extensive.
Trading since 2015, they count. So,
20. Okay.
either way.
So they feel they have a valid claim on this, then with whatever copyright thing they created. So yeah, but I really enjoyed Ghost Vodka's response,
Yeah,
which was
right.
quite biting.
Yeah, so here we go. We believe...
Well,
you want to read this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
They're British though, so maybe you should read it in accent.
Okay. We believe that Tobias Forge needs the money, having recently settled another case out of court. Yeah, so there you go, like bam, which is true. Obviously, we talked about before, and you guys defend this guy. I don't know why. He is such a fool. Okay, and he's a talented guy, but first of all, he's a Freemason, so that makes it weird. Okay, if that doesn't make you think of worldwide conspiracies, I don't know what does. I got the papers right here. Having observed us since 2016, now he feels he might have the funds available to provide him with a decent-sized settlement. He's always trying to make money. Money made from selling their gin is negligible compared to our vodka, and the volumes just aren't there, obviously. Who would buy Ghost vodka? He should stick to what he's good at, which is we're not sure. scamming people. Yeah, obviously,
Keep going.
Tobias Forge. Until the end of last year, we had never heard of Tobias Forge. So these guys obviously are not into the metal universe. Having looked into his background, it's all entirely within his character, which he can scrub his own bandmates, which now claims to be becoming a small independent business. Yes, obviously we told you about that. He was trying to sue all of his former bandmates for whatever reason, various reasons. And we respect his success, and we can understand how hard he has worked to get where he is. However, there is no excuse for this kind of behavior. Yes, true. It's shitty behavior, they said. A quote. So yeah. So I don't know why some of you, because we got some comments last time, and some people supporting this guy for. No. It's
What
fucking.
were they saying?
They were like, oh, this is, you don't understand what you're talking about. It's like I'm not gonna quote any of them, but
even if whatever ironclad copyright they have is totally legally legitimizes this claim, and Ghost Vodka has to stop using the Ghost name. It's an asshole thing to do.
It's an asshole thing
like
to do.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
Like what is he gaining by not letting this
More
vodka brand
power.
who has built a whole
More
brand
power.
brand behind this name, which is a very common word, by the way.
Ghosts. No. Tobias Forge discovered the phenomenon of ghosts.
I know, he's
discovered
English
it.
second language, but it is a common word in the English language.
No, he invented the ghost. He found it. He was investigating one day, even before the ghost book. He found this phenomenon called a ghost.
You would think, his own. I actually don't know how the whole Ghost BC thing resolved, but you think his own trials around naming his band Ghost and not being able to use the name.
He wants to put other people through it.
Might make him a little sympathetic to this sort of thing, but
live and let die.
Like, do they seriously think that this is harming their gin sales? Or do they seriously think that people are buying Ghost Vodka thinking it's affiliated with the band? That could be a valid concern.
You didn't say that, though.
But even then, even if they buy it thinking it's affiliated with the band, that's their dumbass mistake.
Yeah, other people should be able to call their products. Well, it's because it's an alcoholic product, that was really a specific thing.
Because they have an alcohol?
Because they have an alcohol, because they have a stupid gin that nobody drinks.
That's the only reasonable claim I could feel Tobias Forge have is this looks this they have a skull on the bottle.
It looks
and
like
it's
his
called
mask.
Ghost, and I'm worried people are associating this with
They're
our
gonna buy
band
that.
when there's no
instead of buying
connection.
my
No, not even that, because obviously the only people buying Juniper gin are hardcore Ghost fans, okay? No one else gives a shit.
Yeah, I think people that are gin fans, they're not going to go for,
maybe hardcore
this one.
gin fans just want to try all the gins, or people who collect shit, collect band shit.
I think this looks kind of tacky for a gin person.
This is a collector's item for metal collectors and maybe alcohol collectors. Uninformed people are not buying Juniper gin. They're not going to confuse it with Ghost Vodka.
I don't imagine this is a good gin.
We have no idea. We cannot speculate on
it
the
doesn't
quality.
look like a good gin. It doesn't look like one.
We don't know, okay? It doesn't matter.
Look, there he is
Literally doesn't matter the quality of the gin.
Yeah. It's probably the same that comes in the plastic bottle at the bar. The
gin
lower
is
shelf
being
one.
used as a tool to justify this claim, but I'm saying the only reasonable argument that can be made is that he doesn't want people to assume Ghost Vodka is associated with ghosts, which I don't know. It's sure, there's a similarity, but I don't know. Your band's not that big, that normal people would see Ghost Vodka and everyone would think, oh, is that the Ghost band's brand of vodka? Most people see the word ghost and think nothing, It's just a word.
Well, he invented the ghost. He also invented the skull, too. He discovered the human skull as well, and it has the skull on it, so he's mad about that. Yeah.
Anyway.
This gin has cilantro in it. Is that what? Is that
cilantro?
Yeah, that sounds, that's don't you put that in your rice?
It finishes off. A lot of people don't like the taste of cilantro.
No, I wouldn't want it on my, I don't want
They say it tastes like soap.
The gin tastes like soap. And I've drank a lot of soap, I know.
Maybe you also think cilantro. I don't think cilantro tastes
No,
like soap.
cilantro doesn't taste like soap. That's why I'm thinking
But
it's
I'm
weird.
saying a lot of people do. It's some weird thing where a lot of people taste cilantro and they taste soap.
Really? I think this guy is just putting cilantro in his soap, in his detergent water. And
right.
that's a weird taste. Okay, so more alcohol news. More people are making alcohol. So, Metallica. I don't even want to talk about this. You know why I'm talking about this? Because I think a band that has had all victims of serious substance abuse problems are releasing a whiskey.
Well, they've had the whiskey for a while.
Oh, really? So, yeah, it's
Yes.
2018. Yeah.
And if you, the hilarious thing about this whiskey is that it's special. It's, as you can see there, spirit aged in barrels that were exposed to Metallica's music.
That changes the quality and the texture of the barrels.
I believe Lars was talking about the specific music they played.
Yes, they made a
this
playlist.
is a special batch.
It comes with a playlist.
Vinyl.
It comes with a record.
And you get the playlist that was used to age the whiskey.
And we have that playlist right here. Here it is. Okay, mostly live ones from the Binge and Purge record, I believe, which is 90s Metallica. Very angry drunk James Hetfield cursing up a storm, motherfucking this and that and the other thing. Yeah. So this is the playlist, So this is just Metallica's complete separation of reality and the world, and this is just another more evidence of them just living. And I mean, I guess they do nice things. They pretend to donate money to things, so which is good. It's never like a huge amount of money, compared to what you think they would have, but they're always doing like something nice for some kind of problem happening in the world.
A limited run.
Yeah.
Was there only 100? They said.
Is it only 100?
Or it was called Batch 100.
Batch 100. Does that mean? I imagine they make more. Batch 100 box set. No, I think for the box set, but not the vodka, not the product.
Well, they make the whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, they just make that.
But with this box set,
apparently all metal bands have alcohol.
Yeah, there's companies that do that. There's plenty,
just like hot sauce.
Beers, and we have a hot sauce.
Oh yeah, DEFCON 1 has a hot sauce. Everybody.
I don't know if it's any good. I never tried it. I was afraid to try it. Did you ever be afraid to try something? And I like hot sauce.
You have to taste your hot sauce.
Do I even have any? I don't even have any. No. Where did my hot sauce?
That's why you haven't had any.
Didn't I have one though? Like I'm sure I was given one, right? What happened to it? I don't.
You're probably gonna have to buy one.
Yeah, you gotta buy one, man. That'll be $5. Yeah. So
do we know how much this is? This box set?
Can we find out how much this costs? Available through these online retailers. But I don't think they're going to tell us.
Pre-order now. Click on the. Let's do it live.
How much is this? $150. There's been more expensive Metallica products. I'll tell you that right now.
It's not even that bad, honestly.
Yeah, for the gift. I'm sure the bottle's like $30 or something. It looks like it's about a $30 bottle.
You can add cigars with a cedar box.
Cigars. You could just go the full experience with cigars.
Full bro.
Can you now this isn't the kind of
it's like, how masculine can we make
this isn't the kind of whiskey that makes you beat your wife, though. No, this isn't the kind.
You can engrave the bottle.
Oh,
we should get this for Gary.
I think he would love this.
He's probably already ordered it.
Yeah, I wonder. I should kind of try to mention it. Be like, the Metallica whiskey.
We know personally the type of fan that Metallica has that would buy
He wouldn't drink this. He wouldn't touch. He would not
keep it forever.
Dare open this.
So we know very well the target audience for this sort of
Metallica fans
product.
that have money. You have money to spend on this,
and are obsessive and that they need to own everything. Because there is no band that I like enough that I would buy this sort of thing.
$150 product. Metallica has a lot of things like that, box sets and whatnot that are around that price range. So it's not anything new for them to have.
I guess I'm not a collector, so I don't understand the mindset.
I'm not that obsessed with any kind of band that I would buy. This is just beyond support. Buying a shirt, buying an album, buying a record, buying a patch. This is like most bands that we like don't have these kind of things though. They don't have these kind of things. A lot of bands have alcoholic products. I Hate God has a beer which is supposed to be apparently really good if you're a beer person. I Hate God. If you think they would make like some kind of like Milwaukee's Best kind of beer, right? But no, they have like some kind of like.
They have an IPA.
It's like one of the best beers at metal. The one I Hate God makes. Yeah, it's like considered.
Maybe we should try to get
best.
it.
Yeah, I should look it up.
We don't really drink around here, so even if we try it and we don't like it, that doesn't mean it's bad.
I don't like IPAs at all. Like
we don't like good beer.
There's an IPA, that where my wife lives, from Vermont, It's supposed to be one of the best IPAs
It's the number 2 beer in the world.
in the world. And I tried it.
Heady Topper.
I'm like, this is the shittiest shit I've ever tasted.
I can taste it and recognize that it is high quality, but I do not enjoy it.
I don't like IPA. It's not refreshing.
I recognize it has a very complex, flavor, but no.
It gives me
I don't want any more.
Goddamn headache when I drink it. Especially it's like hot out. And
It's a double IPA.
It's a double IPA. Like you drink all you fucking weird beer snobs that wear cargo shorts and go to clutch shows out there.
Anyway, I think Heady Topper, we were talking about this the other day. Heady Topper is for normies now.
Oh, really? It's
other
totally
hipster
mainstream.
beers in Vermont.
But do they make enough of it though? Like where they could supply?
Well, they don't make enough Heady Topper either.
Yeah, I imagine they don't. They haven't.
Okay.
Have
It's
to.
not. Moving on.
Okay, so
We've got some drama.
we spoke about her before.
Mia Wallace,
She's Italian. But
Italian bass player.
Yep.
We first became aware of her when we saw Triumph of Death, which is the moniker that the modern incarnation of Hellhammer is going under. That's why I'm wearing my Hellhammer shirt. Very topical.
Helema with the demon penis.
We saw them at Psycho last year.
Greatest band there.
It was good. It was very good.
Greatest band there.
And I thought Mia was good.
And we had never been familiar. Obviously, she's been in bands before. If you're into a Both, which we're not. I mean, you would know who she is.
She was on the last Both album and played live with him for a bit. I think she had some other black metal band she was in.
Yeah.
And the guy died or something, and then it stopped. She's been around. She's not like a newcomer. She's been.
Yeah, we had just discovered her at that show.
It's more of a European phenomenon.
Yeah, we were like, yeah. And this is by the way, this is what we saw. This is my picture here. And we're like, well, these guys are a couple, huh? But
it was never said.
Yeah. But look at that. They looked, they were kind of.
I saw a number of interviews with them too, and they never talked about it.
Right. They never. Right. We kind of looked at it and we assumed that. But anyway.
But to review, around maybe December, it announced actually Aboth kicked her out of his band.
Aboth.
As part of his going into rehab. I don't know if those two were connected.
Hopefully he's still there. Did they let him out? Hopefully not.
Well, he can't go out and party anymore,
That's
so
true.
he
Good.
should be super clean by the time this is all over.
Or dead.
And then it also came out that she was out of Triumph of Death, and she had this other band named NIRYTH. That had been her and Tom G. Warrior had been talking about a lot. It's supposed to be very interesting. Got mostly bass.
Wasn't going to be metal
Two
mostly.
basses.
It was going to be more like a Pink Floyd kind of thing. They say psychedelic, whatever. We never heard
It was going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's not going to be metal though.
Maybe more on the Triptychon side than the Celtic Frost.
But yeah, definitely not like Celtic Frost at all. So they claim.
So they'd been talking about it for a while, and then someone asked, I think Tom G. Warrior, what happened? What about NIRYTH? Because when they announced that she was out of Triumph of Death, and he said Tom G. Warrior and the other guy, the drummer, are not in NIRYTH anymore.
Yes. P.D. Ludenberg.
There's a big question mark. We don't know what happened exactly, but it's become a little bit more clear with all of this drama coming out, because Tom G. Warrior announced that he and the drummer were reforming under a new name, but it was basically the NIRYTH material, and talking about that he owned it. They recorded it under his, I don't know, copyright or something.
Yes.
So it was his, and they were retooling it a bit, and they were going to release it under a new name. So Mia responded very upset, basically saying that NIRYTH was her idea that she had well before she even met.
In an angry Italian accent. Do you ever have an Italian lady yell at you? She's like, that's what happened. But
well before she even met Tom G. Warrior, and that, there's a lot of stuff that she'd written long ago, and that she just incorporated for this.
She claims she wrote it her whole life.
Her whole life. And it has nothing to do with him.
And you stole it.
And he's taking it now. And it's like, and she was like, how is he going to release the stuff that I wrote? And
very easily.
But then she goes on to say that the writing credits, because they recorded it already, was 50% her, 50% Tom G. Warrior, and the lyrics were all Tom G. Warrior.
Yes.
So, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on from her statement.
I don't trust her.
She came off a little strange.
I don't trust
with
her.
What she wrote. She's talking about, like, I'm here in, like, serenity, and, like, I'm all peace.
She's a damn weirdo.
And,
I bet she does, like, weird yoga, has crystals and burns sage.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear she's in a new band now called Nervosa.
I feel sorry for those guys.
It's all ladies, I think.
Oh, okay. They'll be able to deal with her.
That'll work out.
They'll be able to deal with her, yeah. That'll be fine then.
But she doesn't really say she doesn't give any details. It's all just very vague as to why, NIRYTH fell apart.
We have
Did you want to read anything?
well, we have this. This Tommy G Warrior statement. Yeah.
Tommy G Warrior has a blog, by the way, which I didn't know.
Yeah, this is his blog.
I was scrolling through it.
So when he was designing NIRYTH, he drew this on his school notebook. He was sitting in high school.
So he made the logo.
He was sitting in science class, and he drew this on his notebook. And that's not very metal. It's more like sort of proggy. Right? Get another version of it? No, you get that version of it. But yeah, this is his blog. So he's talking about, his experience here. And, so, you decide. You read this. You read her statement.
The thing is, he doesn't say anything that contradicts her, but he's also just being like, well, I don't know what she was doing before, but we formed this band together. We were a couple at the time. And she also mentioned that they recorded in Switzerland, and then she was like, oh, and I was always coming from Italy at my expense. And he was like, well, we were together. She was my girlfriend, so I paid
coming
for
from
most of
Italy.
it. And he also mentions that they recognize, they might not be together forever, which obviously they weren't.
You cannot trust the Swiss. They are no good.
But they hoped that, that they were both dedicated to this, and they were like, well, even if, we break up, let's try to keep this going. And apparently, I think they were not together when we saw them at Psycho.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they continued on with Triumph of Death,
pretending that
they try to keep just keep working together.
Yeah.
But where was I? So he says like, okay, yeah, it's like I wrote 50% of the music, and I wrote all of the vocals, and he doesn't say exactly what he's going to do with the 50% he considers Mia's, but he did mention, he said that they were retooling the music.
Do you think this will lead to like a court case?
I kind of doubt it.
Yeah,
I don't feel like Mia has it together.
She's not Tobias Forge. She's not good at this.
To pursue litigation. I think she's more going to make an Instagram post.
Yeah, that's all. She's going to make a Twitter post.
So, he didn't explain, but he was just like, I put a lot of work into this, and when it became apparent that we weren't going to be able to continue working together, he mentions there's an incident, and it was around December. So I feel like a Both is tied into this somehow. Yeah,
there was a love triangle. Love triangle.
Very frightening love triangle.
Take a look at me now. It's a movie about a love triangle. I'm just an empty space.
All right. What was I going to say?
You were talking about Abath. You were talking about Tommy G Warrior.
He mentions that there was some inciting incident that made them realize that not only could they keep her in Triumph of Death, NIRYTH was over as well.
She ruined everything.
And he wrote her a letter of declaration.
Like a sent letter? Like he mailed it?
I don't know. I bet he did.
Put a stamp on it.
I bet he sent a letter with a wax seal.
Signed in blood.
Just asking her if she would like the name or not.
That was probably a legal letter.
So, and she did want the name. So that's why Tom G. Warrior and the drummer are reforming under a new name. But do
we know that new name?
No, there's no name yet.
He hasn't drawn it on his high school notebook yet.
So
when he's sitting there doing algebra class, he'll draw it. Like, I came up with the most sickest logo.
And his vision for how this was going to work, I guess, on far as extracting their creative, input from each other, was he mentions these Sisters of Mercy split.
That's awesome. I love that he mentions a goth band that I really like. Sisters of Mercy, yeah. They basically had one album, I think, and it was just awesome. And they split, and then they went to these other bands.
So there was two projects, I guess, afterwards.
I like how he, compares the Sisters of Mercy. I was like, that's so awesome. I like Sisters of Mercy. Here lies goth, not here lies metal.
So yeah, he's saying I don't know what she's upset about. I get, it'll be interesting to see once they publish things, because Mia also said she's almost ready to publish her NIRYTH.
Who's she gonna record it with?
Well, that makes you wonder. Is she is working with other musicians now. She's not friendless, okay?
Yeah.
But is she gonna use what they already recorded? Is Tom G. Warrior gonna use what they?
There'll be some legal things. I predict.
That's a question. I bet you Tom G. Warrior has his ass covered, but
yeah, he's
he's pretty level-headed here. He's not nasty in this letter.
He's Swiss. You know how Swiss people are.
You know, he praises her input to the band that she added. And she was like, you know, it just seemed like they could not work through whatever incident happened.
I think Swiss people all have the mentality of like bankers. They all do. There's all like 900 of them that live in Switzerland. They all have like the savviness of like a banker. And, you know, even Tommy G Warrior. Like, I think he's of wealth and privilege because he's from Switzerland. And who isn't from wealth and privilege? Like,
he's not.
Is there poor people in Switzerland?
He's not. He wasn't rich.
Are there any poor? I think of Switzerland as this like utopia where everyone's a banker, including H.R. Geiger.
No, there's definitely poor people everywhere. But from what I've seen of interviews from Tom G. Warrior, he grew up, as per him, in deprivation.
Really?
And like an abusive household.
I cannot imagine that in Switzerland. I can't picture that in Switzerland. Everything just seems like it's like La La Land. And
you've never been there.
I've never been there, but I've seen it on TV.
Have you?
And you know, I've seen I've seen H.R. Geiger. And
I've actually been to that town.
Oh, where he was? It was
where his house
Geneva.
was.
It was Geneva. It was Geneva.
No, it's outside Geneva.
Okay, but it was out. Yeah, it was near Geneva. Yeah, I just imagine Switzerland was this like place where everything just goes right. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's nicer than here.
Yeah,
but
I imagine there's not cities on fire in Switzerland. I imagine
that's a low bar.
I imagine yes, it is a low bar. That is a low bar. It's a low hanging fruit there. You know, I imagine no one's getting choked out by a knee in Switzerland. But yeah, you can't have everything, I guess.
Anyway, this is a developing story. We're watching it very closely as we feel we were on the ground floor. We saw, I think, the last performance of Triumph of Death.
Yeah, we didn't even know.
Wallace.
We didn't even know. We thought, you know, everything was cool, but that band was so cool. We want to see them again.
Yeah, we saw that picture. Like they looked like they were together.
Yeah, we were like, oh,
when they played
look at
together.
that. We were like, oh, that's a couple, huh? We're like, that's a power
they did that
huh?
a lot. That wasn't like 1 second's pose there. That was like
they were like, you know,
they were like cuddling up a lot.
They were putting it onto the crowd there. You know, it was a great show. It was really the best band there at Psycho, I would say. Great that a band like that played. So we will keep you posted on this developing story between Tommy G Warrior and Mia Wallace, and maybe more people will just come out against Mia Wallace. Maybe you'll hear from a Both or something, if that's even necessary. So
Mia mentioned in her letter that her and Aboth are still friends.
Yeah, that's right.
As opposed to
she said she has an amicable relationship with him. So I don't know.
Even though they very publicly kicked her out of the band.
Yeah, they weren't very nice about it. And they didn't even talk to her. They kind of had their whatever, like their manager do it, or whatever. They didn't even do it directly. So anyway, we'll keep you posted if you're interested. What else is going on in the world? So. In medical news, this is good news. Is this metal? It says this is everything. This isn't just metal. This is everything. This is all of everything in your life. This is life. Okay, study claims that marijuana can help fight off COVID-19. People have mentioned this. I saw this on the Jimmy Dore show as well. And he was happy. He was like, yeah, cool. I've been doing that all along. Study shows that cannabis might help reduce the threat of COVID-19 while researchers still looking for a vaccine. Maybe this is a treatment. Who knows? They analyzed study looking at 400 different strains, both THC and CBD dominant strains, and there were some very interesting preliminary results. So obviously this isn't really, basically something to do with the ACE2 receptors, all the science stuff, how the thing connects to your body and all that crap. And it might make it more difficult for that to happen.
So you'd be less likely to contract it.
Yeah.
It's like for your immune system.
Yeah. That's what they're saying here. But we don't know. But either way, how can it hurt to smoke?
That's what I've been saying. It's just like start saying things, because the truth is so malleable these days. Yeah. If you just start saying weed, stops the coronavirus.
Well, the mainstream media hasn't gone with this story.
Okay, look, but people just start saying it.
Yeah.
It'll just gain traction for no reason.
Yeah.
There doesn't even need to be a study done.
Yeah. I mean, the media wants to obviously, there's the mainstream media is obviously monetary gains. So they're not going to push anything that doesn't make them or their corporate backers money. I mean, it's just really going to go down to that.
Well, once weed, pharmaceuticals and industry start advertising on major networks, then suddenly we might have a bit more
when that happens,
pro weed coverage.
There's a big reluctance for that right now. There's going to be this like wall we have to cross before that happens. I mean, once it does get mainstream, it's going to get really annoying. Like weed's going to become really annoying when it becomes if it becomes legalized and becomes completely mainstream.
Well, it's just going to be like beer.
It's going to be really annoying. It's going to be really broy and really annoying, and you're going to hate a lot of people, and everyone's going to, like all these bros going to be like, yeah, bro, weed, it's, like more than they do now.
I mean, that's already
like, you're not going to want to smoke weed anymore. Like, you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to. You're going to be like, I'm good.
You're going to see like the 58th, like, cringeworthy name that's like a pun for a new strain.
Yeah, they'll sell all these strains, put it on TV. Like, this is called this is called the lightning bolt strain, bro.
I mean, that's fine name, but like,
it's gonna get really annoying really quickly. So sometimes, sometimes it's fun for it to be illegal because there's less of that. There's less of that. Not, there's not a complete. There's always that, but it's just become super annoying.
Anyway, listen to Dope Smoker, stay inside, smoke weed.
Yeah. Also take vitamin
healthy.
D. If you take vitamin D, if you're not getting enough sunlight. Also there's more growing evidence that vitamin D deficiencies are causing more symptoms.
I mean, that's just kind of bad for you in general.
It is.
Vitamin D deficiency.
Absolutely is.
I usually have one.
Yeah, I take my vitamin D, and because I'm not a sun person, but and also my skin's a little darker, so I have more resistance to sunlight, vitamin D. Whereas Samantha here is going to absorb vitamin D a lot easier. So yeah. Anyway, so that's our medical news for today. What do we got here? So Sean Carroll.
Will Carroll.
Why did I call him Sean? I'm wrong Irish guy. Sorry. Sean Carroll. No, Will Carroll. William Carroll. In his coma, this is kind of scary, man. In his coma, when he was in a coma with the coronavirus, he was 12 days medically induced. This happened like so long ago. It's funny because this is like, he was like already up, like before this thing was even that bad, he was already through it already.
Well, yeah, it was one of the first,
because they got it in Europe. So they got
it before it broke out over here.
They got like the real coronavirus in Europe. They got like the European version of it. So, just as worse as it could possibly be.
He told us what he experienced while in a coma.
Yeah, here he goes.
It's very interesting.
He says, he quotes, "I went to hell and Satan was a woman, obviously. And, obviously. And, I was punished for sloth, which means I guess you're greedy, I guess. You just, eat too much.
No, that's laziness.
Laziness. Oh, so for being lazy. Okay, fair enough. See, he's a drummer, so fair enough. It's probably true. Carol told Decibel last month, I was a giant, obese Jabba the Hutt type creature, and I was vomiting blood, and I kept vomiting blood, and I had a heart attack, which is kind of weird because I had heart failure in my coma. Well, that's crazy. Mission because I remember rising up from hell, and once I got to heaven, it was horrifying there too, obviously. And it was like a Roman orgy. He was horrified of a Roman orgy. And the angels were even scarier than the demons. Maybe you were like in Glenn Danzig's heaven, It was Glenn Danzig's version of heaven. And I shot back down to Earth, and I was with some friends in a nightclub. That sounds terrible, too. And the last thing I remember. So, and I've heard a lot of stories of people having these very lucid hallucinations under the effects of this disease. Whether they're in a coma. It's hallucinations, just in the fever, or just, or being in a
just
coma.
having a really intense fever.
Yeah. Or just seeing things, seeing demons and shit like that. I mean, it depends what's going on in your mind. I've seen weird things, and I had a high fever before. I've seen ghosts, and I had a high fever. I remember I was just laying.
Never seen anything.
Yeah, I had a high fever once, and I was just laying down in bed, and at night, and I just woke up and just imagined, like, and I was imagining, I was like, what if like a shadowy figure walks in my room now? And it did, because I'm imagining it, so my mind's like, there you go. There's a shadowy figure opening your door, literally opening my door. It opened my door, and it walked in.
You summoned the demon.
Yeah, because I imagined one.
The demon heard your thought and was like, okay, I'll show you myself.
Yeah, because you're hallucinating, and that's
clearly what happened.
That's the explanation for it. That's the explanation. So he had his crazy experience with this. So it's just so he's like I've seen hell, and I'm not gonna be all Satan anymore because I've seen it, man. So kind of taught him a lesson.
I saw another article where he was complaining about the press taking these statements,
just turning them around, yeah,
and exaggerating,
and
blowing them out of proportion.
Well, you know that's on Loudwire. It's obviously totally
I don't know,
true.
man. That's a pretty cool story.
Cool story, bro. Yeah. So
you think people aren't going to talk about that?
Yeah. No, it is cool. But Carol also warns, it's not the common flu. So you really just stay indoors and follow rules. So like no one's doing right now. So it's no fun to be cooped up, but he had a bad experience with it. I think hopefully a lot of people don't have a bad experience like he did with it, because this guy was, I was pretty sure this guy was gonna die. I was like, that guy's probably not gonna make it, but he did. So yeah. And when he woke up, he said, "Am I still in hell?" It's kind of scary. Am I still in hell? It's like a scary movie. Yeah. So Will Carroll, you're fine now. You've been to hell and back. Write a song about it. What's going on here? Okay. So speaking of life under this, some inventor has presented a hazmat suit for concerts. And of course, the funny thing about it is it has a canister for drinking and vaping, which is just so typical of these stupid fucking assholes at concerts. Like, I can't go without my beer and my vape. Like,
well,
I gotta have it in my fucking hazmat suit.
For a little context, the guy who made this, he works at like a venue,
right?
Like designing events, like a really high production venue, like with big shows,
right?
Like he's an inventor, like he invents like stage pieces and stuff.
So he knows about virology and
what he knows is that if people, he can't have invent an invention that will allow people to go to concerts, but that won't let them buy beer at the concert. So this is about buying the beer.
Of course, obviously, because headbangers are really stupid, and they just. Like I go to concerts and I just watch them just spend all their fucking money on overpriced beer, and I don't drink at shows. I don't drink.
I mean, I like to get a shirt.
Yeah.
If I see a good shirt,
the money you spent on beer, you could have got the shirt. And the bands we go to, they're not like really ripping you off for shirts. Like they're being pretty reasonable. A lot of these shows, like I've gotten like $15 shirts, which I think is pretty, because I know the price of shirts. I know what it costs to make shirts, and it's not cheap. So if you get a $15 shirt, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
I think the most expensive shirt I ever bought was Uncle Acid.
Yeah, and they're a bigger band.
It was like maybe 30, but it was actually, it's my highest quality shirt.
Yeah, it was a nice shirt.
It's like a soft shirt.
And of the
like
bands,
this is like sandpaper.
Yeah,
this is a $20 shirt.
Probably like a Gildan shirt. Yeah, as opposed to Uncle Acid probably using a better brand.
So
yeah, if you're selling shirts for $15, you're probably using Gildan shirts, which don't cost anything. But you need to make a lot of shirts to make a profit. It's not easy to make a profit running shirts. And if you're selling for $15, it's very difficult. So you're probably getting really shitty shirts. They're not going to be nice feeling shirts. But Uncle Acid is probably one of the bigger bands we've seen recently, I would think. Of the many bands we've seen recently, or in the past, not recently. But, it's probably one of the bigger ones these days, so.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's okay to charge like $30 if it is like a very nice...
Yeah.
Like high quality shirt.
Yeah.
But for these sandpaper shirts, like if you go see Judas Priest or something and you go to The Rock and try to buy a shirt, it's going to be like $40 for this.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
So like, no.
Yeah, usually, I've spent like $40 for like a Metallica shirt, and it was a good shirt though. It's a good shirt.
Right.
It was a good shirt.
What about that Manowar shirt that's mostly paint?
That was given to me. That probably costed a lot of money since Manowar are dicks and charge.
It's high quality. It's mostly paint.
That was from the 90s. Yeah, the shirt is so, she was wearing it last time. It was like,
you're not even going to wear these shirts at shows anymore because you're going to be wearing this contraption.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I like the idea of this. I'd like to just wear this all the time. Just go around like this. Be a spaceman. But, and now we just, why have we these vices in here? Why don't we have, like, water and
I'm sure you can have water. I'm sure if you can have beer, you can have water.
Yeah, why do you need beer in this?
They're just confirming you could use a beer.
I can have a LaCroix in one.
They're trying to sell it to the venue.
Yeah. Okay, so in these, they're kind of presenting this. They're kind of like presenting this as in they would rent these things at shows. I wouldn't. Yeah, that.
You.
Yeah. No. It mentioned like a 40,000 person arena. Like,
yeah, and like how you'd have to have a shit ton of them. Too,
I would rather own this.
Like,
I would rather own this myself.
Like what if you're like a weird sized person? You don't have standard measurements.
It's not gonna work. You couldn't rent these things out of shows. First of all, it'd take forever. Where are they gonna get everyone in and out of these fucking things? like in the lobby.
Like, okay, maybe they'll like boil them in between shows, and I'll believe that.
Yeah, I'm not even up
clean.
to sanitizing them. I'm not even up to that. Like I'm just getting people in and out of these things and distributing them.
That would be a shit show.
No, it's no, this isn't, this isn't gonna work. This
people
is
would
fantasy.
need to own their own and show up in them.
Yeah, this is fantasy.
For this to work.
Yes, there will be a time when this disease is not here and things will go back to normal, but that time isn't now. And so these things aren't. This is just this is overdoing it. Though I would like to wear this just to wear this, because I could be a spaceman. No one would laugh at me.
Well, you could wear something like a mask or something to a concert, and people, whenever they start again.
Yeah,
even
like I'm just being
going
safe.
on to the future.
Yeah, but I'm just being safe just in case.
Yeah, and people.
No one's gonna say shit. It's like, oh, you need to take that mask. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not getting a fucking disease, asshole. Yeah, it's like fucking take the fucking thing off me. Yeah, but it just I don't like the idea that they plan on distributing these things. No, these need to be.
It doesn't seem, but
owned.
Like you have to rent these. Well, it wouldn't be optional to rent. You'd basically be
You'd
part
have
of
to
your
rent them.
ticket. Would be a suit.
Right, because
would
you'd
be
have
included
to.
with your ticket.
Yeah, like if they started shows again, it's like next month, they'd have to do this.
The amount that this would increase ticket prices.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not
And
practical.
obviously, this is only for large venues. Small venues not gonna have this shit.
Yeah, even though small venues are just as packed and just as dangerous.
I mean, it'd be somewhat feasible to suit everybody up in a small venue, but
just people moshing, these things get fucked up. They get punctured.
And to police people staying in them in a small venue, but
yeah, it would get so hot in them. How would you ventilate these things? Air conditioning. You know how hot this would get?
Don't worry, you'll be drunk.
Well, I don't know if it covers you. I don't think it's a whole suit. I think it's just this contraption over you. It's like a helmet, and it's not completely covering your body.
It seems coordinated with the sleeves there.
Yeah, I mean, I think because it protects your hands and your arms, but I think this is like a regular shirt.
It looked like a jumpsuit.
I don't know. I don't know if they're or if you're going to be wearing your regular clothes.
You can click on that video.
Yeah, either way, you are going to
It looks like a spacesuit. Airtight helmet, filtration systems, LED lighting accents.
Microsoft has a solution.
This guy is the one that made it
safely.
But could
Safely.
this be the near future?
Where are you
for
from,
big events
Portugal?
Like concerts or even clubbing.
Takes your safety and your security in terms of being close
clubbing.
to airborne
How are they
gonna do-
viruses
Mike
or
808.
viruses.
How are they going to do
To the
coke
next level.
in this?
Miguel Risueño, who goes by Mike 808, is the head of
808.
inventions
I'm
for
Mike
Production
808.
Club. It's a creative studio that designs stages and experiences for clients in gaming, technology, and music.
So
How we can
this
bring
is the
events back, how
sort
we
of
can bring
this is where it's coming from.
socialization back. How can we help the industry
And how can
to
we?
not die?
I think
He
he's
says
Mexican.
the brainstorming started after seeing beaches full of
I'm
spring
saying it's a
breakers.
Mexican accent.
This is a little
Okay.
screwed,
Mexican.
but still we
Maybe he's
need to find
Italian.
a solution for it because people
name is
are,
Miguel.
are
No, he's
still
Mexican.
going out and still are going to party and they are still skipping the social distance.
They
method.
social
The suit
distance.
includes N95 filters and snap-in canisters for drinking and vaping.
They don't like
It's
that.
just a way in which you don't need to remove
All
the
right,
helmet
that's
because
enough.
if you remove the
Yes,
helmet,
this is what they want because it is on you put this canister in the Lucia, so yeah, I don't like the fact that you have to have your vices in there. Like you have to have your vices. You can't fucking go out with your fucking vices.
They're
Weaklings,
trying-
fucking weaklings.
trying to get the people to use the thing, and they're like, "Look, you can have a beer," and I'll be like, "All right."
Yeah, because these fucking fat headbangers can't go fucking 2 minutes without their fucking beer. God forbid. They can't have their beer for 2 minutes.
Why you gotta be such a killjoy?
No, because it's all they do. I watched them. That's all they fucking do. It's like, get your fucking life together. Get your fucking life together. Stop drinking.
It's not your problem. They go broke,
Yeah, I'm concerned about your financial health.
and maybe they're wealthy.
Maybe they are. That's true. They're. I always wonder what kind of jobs they have. Like I see all these tattoos lower. I'm like, what do you do? Like, where do you show up?
You
like
could
that?
have tattoos at your job.
I could. Yes.
Maybe have your job.
Yeah, maybe it's possible. They don't seem like they do, but you never know. You never know. But I imagine they're not working at banks looking like that, or insurance companies. They could be bouncers or bartenders. You could do that for sure. Remember hairdressers? You could definitely do that. But yeah, they could do what I do. It's maybe they could be IT guys. You could probably be IT guys.
Some companies,
You
sure.
have to keep that shit covered up though. Like if you're working in like a corporate place,
It's easy for men.
a lot easier
It's
for men.
easy for men.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Man could definitely get away with it. Yeah. I hate all you people out there. All you headbangers. I hate all of you. So
Don't you miss them?
no.
I miss them.
I don't miss you.
I want to see him again.
I don't miss some of you guys. They keep hitting my back when I'm trying to watch a shit. And I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna fucking elbow you in the face if you keep doing that. You know, there's always that guy. Some guys are fun. You know, the midnight show was fun. I was just having fun. I didn't give a fuck, right? But
well, that was like the best moshing experience.
Yeah, because I'm like, cool. You hit me. That's cool. We're having a good time.
The crowd was packed, and we were on the stage, which was at a good height, where it's like there's no way we could get hurt.
Yeah,
we were just getting bumped, and it's fine.
Yeah, I was glad everyone around me. You know, I was cool with everyone. Though there was some guy causing trouble with some girls over to our left, and he was kind of fucking with these girls, which wasn't cool. But he wasn't.
Well, nothing like what you're.
No, he wasn't.
Sounds like what you were saying. It was more that he was just trying to bust into the front. Like,
yeah, which isn't cool
because through me as well.
They're like small, like so. Fucking be fucking man. Don't fucking do that. Like let them. You could see over them. Let them in front of you. It's pretty. It's courtesy. Just let them fucking in front of you. If they cut in front of you, who cares? Let them.
When we get back
small.
to concerts, no one's gonna know how to fucking act anymore.
Oh god, yeah, it's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be fights. It's gonna be fights.
People are gonna get so drunk. Because we'll be so excited to be back.
It's going to be chaos. Like, there's a lot of just pent-up anger. Like, what's going on now in the world, it's just the perfect storm. Like, it's not because, only because a guy got killed. It's because people are pent up, stuck in their houses without jobs, without money. So it's just this perfect storm of just rage. And I think the same is going to happen with, like, concerts. People are just going to be on edge.
I think people are going to be happy when that happens. Because obviously things are going to have to be better for there to be a concert in the first place.
They might forget how to act.
I'm going to say they might be too crazy, but with like positive energy.
But people might be like, don't fucking touch me. And some people might snap.
I would say there might be some people like that where they're still scared of human contact and they're like,
reasonably,
we need to be apart still. And there's going to be people who are like, yay, we're back. And they're going to be all.
No, I think some shit's going to go down, man.
We'll see.
Shit's going to go down.
We'll see. Well, hopefully we'll see the day.
Like, you being kept in the house is not making people happier when they get out. Like, people are, I think, just being not used to seeing people every day might, have a negative effect on people not happy to see. It's like, fuck you. I don't want to see you anymore. Get the fuck out of my way. Because you're so, used to being alone that you forget how to interact with people. I think there's a lot of that going on.
Well, there's not protester on protester violence happening.
No. There's some certain groups of certain.
Well, those are not
certain demographics of protesters.
They have counter, odds. There.
Yeah, they would have been fighting anyway.
They are at odds. Yeah, they're not protesting together for the same purpose.
Yes, if you don't know what we're talking about, there is a Boogaloo boys out there trying to incite race wars, and it's not a conspiracy. You see these people?
That's real.
Bringing weapons and shit, and trying to light fires and break down windows and get the thing worse. And these people, by the way, they're on the alt-right side. And by the way, they're not concerned about the life of cops either. Okay, like they don't care if cops get killed in their little game. Okay, so like it's not useful for anyone. So okay, so don't think they're on your side if you're a cop or anything. They're not on your side. They want you to die too. So, this is...
What do we know? We're from the land of peaceful protests, apparently.
In New Jersey, apparently, in Camden and Newark and all places, there's cops standing in solidarity with protesters, which I hope that continues.
That's because our cities don't have shit.
That's right. Our cities, like Camden and Newark, those were cities that got the way they are because of riots in, like, the 1960s and 1970s. Yeah. And it took these cities... Well, Camden never recovered. But a city like Newark, it took like 40 years to kind of recover.
Yeah, there's like very little like high property value areas in Newark.
Yeah,
and like none in Camden.
It's not, Camden is completely. There's nothing to burn in Camden. So the
cops are like,
there's nothing to burn there.
We don't have anyone telling us to keep you away from places. So
yeah, they're like, we'll just hang out.
Go ahead and march.
They're like, this place is misery. We'll hang out with you. But yeah, Newark is just kind of trying to get back, and they're like, just don't burn this place, just don't burn it. Like, we'll just do it. We won't beat you. Like, we'll just march with you, which is the right. They should have been doing that everywhere, but instead in New York City decide to run people over and shoot them randomly with pepper spray, and so you get what and then you wonder why your police station burnt down. So yeah, what can I tell you? Anyway, the world will sometime come back to normal, maybe not. Either way, we'll be doing this show, right? Whether we like it or not. And one day I'll have a job again too. So thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, including Twitter at Here Lies Metal, Facebook at Here Lies Metal, Instagram Metal Lies Here, Gmail HereLiesMetal@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to that subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up, or more likely a thumbs down. Also, comment down below if you're upset with something I said, which you usually are. Don't forget to ring that bell to be notified of our new videos when they come out. Be sure to subscribe to hereliesmetal on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or Spotify, as our old episodes, our old factual episodes are on there. Not our shit-talking episodes. And make sure to rate us, even if you hate us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the hereliesmetal podcast once more. Thank you for the guys from Hovenweep for contacting me. I hope you like your review as much as we liked your album. And yeah, maybe we'll make an episode next week. We haven't been too timely on the episodes, have we?
There'd be nothing to talk about.
There hasn't been a lot to talk about. There's always music to talk about, I guess, but we can't.
There's always music.
We can't just do a show on music.
There's stuff we haven't reviewed that I wouldn't mind reviewing.
It's plenty of stuff that music, but it's not a lot of news. Just not a lot of news going on. It's really, it takes a while to gather up.
We should do better reviews.
Yeah, we should just do more in-depth reviews. If we have no news worth talking about, which is usually the case, there's usually the news we're talking about is just we're just really trying to make it work. Like it's not that interesting, But there's always interesting music. We could just. I think people would appreciate that. I think our review episodes get decent views. So
I could try to do a roundup of the best albums of the first half of the year.
Yeah, just talk about music.
Which would include some things we've talked about before.
Be more like a banger. Just talk about music. That's what they do. Just talk about music. They don't shit talk anything.
No, they do sometimes do negative reviews though.
Oh yeah, they have
mediocre reviews.
They have the power to.
I don't tend to like to talk about music.
I'm not. I'm not gonna throw any smaller bands under the bus. But bigger bands we might have some fun with. It was a little,
Trivium.
Yeah, and some people didn't like that. They're like Trivium. I don't like Trivium. You can't go compare with Nickelback. Yes, I could. But I didn't hate the Trivium album. It was listenable.
You liked it more than me.
Yeah, it was. I didn't hate it. It was listenable. I'm not gonna go buy a Trivium album though. Yeah, so folks, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you again soon. Stay safe out there. And if you're burning a cop car, just don't hang out by it. Just do it and run and guerrilla warfare, okay, people? I'm not inciting violence, okay? I'm just telling you what people are doing. Okay, YouTube, okay? The YouTubes. Okay? So yeah. Good night. And we'll see you soon. Stay